Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now January 11th of 2021, and a lot of fans right now are very curious about what's going on between Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and what's in store for the Favloni universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, given that we have Rangers of the New Republic, we've got Mando Season 3 and 4, as well as the Book of Boba, the Ahsoka series, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come for this new universe that's in store for the fans around the world. Now, given that Disney and Lucasfilm are really, invested in making Star Wars just as expansive as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, by the way, that's going to take a little bit of time and effort to really get it to such a level. We can already see that they are heading in that direction by modeling the overall structure of the MCU to be applied to Star Wars, with Kevin Feige now actually developing a Star Wars movie. Now, apart from all of this, alright, a lot of fans out there have been very intrigued about returning Star Wars characters. Let's recap. We saw Palpatine come back into the mix for Episode 9. We saw, for example, Boba Fett now in The Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, Bo-Katan, a lot of other characters out there that a lot of fans grew up with and actually love. Now, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, what their focus is to actually give the fans exactly what they want to see, be it on the big screen or be it at home on Disney Plus when it comes to the streaming platform. Now, what's really exciting all has to do with the character of Mace Windu. This is a character that a lot of fans have been very curious about his return, and as we've talked about this before in the past, there are plans for Mace Windu to return in Season 4 in 2023. Now, given that The Mandalorian Season 3 is now in development, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new projects moving ahead. It's described, however, that currently Jon Favreau is working on a host of new Star Wars TV shows to arrive on Disney Plus in the near future. However, in a recent interview, Jon Favreau went on to reveal something very exciting for fans. At one point in time, Jon Favreau went on to tease the return of Mace Windu when questioned about other returning characters into the Star Wars franchise. Jon Favreau went on to respond in question to Mace Windu's return, that the possibilities are endless when it comes to Star Wars, and that he and his partner Dave Filoni are very excited to reveal to fans what returning characters will be a part of the Mandalorian timeline in the near future. Jon Favreau went on to tease that he and George Lucas had already discussed a roster for returning characters to become a part of the Mandalorian series, and that he believes that fans are going to be in for an unexpected surprise. Now, let's stop right here for 1 minute before we actually move on. Notice how Jon Favreau expertly actually did not answer the question. Given that he could have easily just denied Mace Windu's return right then and there, would have made a lot more sense if Mace Windu was not coming back to Star Wars. Now, we've actually seen this before in the past, where, actors or creators will kind of draw this line between denying and confirming about a specific reveal in an actual movie or TV show. And here we have Jon Favreau doing something very similar. He's not confirming, nor is he denying the return of Mace Windu. He is expertly, pretty much, staying away from answering the question. And that really does raise a lot of questions as well. Let's go back to StarWars.com's birthday wish to Samuel L. Jackson. You guys may recall on Twitter and on the StarWars.com website, they even said that the party is just beginning or just getting started when it comes to Samuel L. Jackson when they wished him a happy birthday. That was a big, interesting hint there, and a lot of comments were blowing up on those posts. A lot of comments were all about Mace Windu's return into Star Wars. Now, given what we've been talking about for a couple of months now, of how The Mandalorian Season 4 is actually preparing for a big return of Mace Windu being done by Samuel L. Jackson again in his elderly form, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how the fans are going to react to that. Now, Mando Season 4 is said to actually tease and set up the planned Mace Windu TV series, which is going to give us a slightly older version of Mace in a post-Order 66 fashion, as well as a young version of Mace Windu, where it takes place before Episode 1. So the elderly version of Mace, that's going to be a very old version of him, if that makes sense, in Mando Season 4, given it takes place decades after Episode 3. And then, that's going to tease of what's to come for a slightly older Mace Windu than what we saw in Episode 3, and a far younger version prior to Episode 1. So, it's a very interesting way that they're setting things up. Now, I wouldn't go as far to say that Mace Windu may very well have a lot of action, per se, in Mando Season 4, because they're aiming for him to be very elderly, and pretty much a Jedi in exile. That's what they're aiming to do. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what that's going to bring in store. He could have very powerful, ways to actually use the Force in ways that we can never imagine, for all we know. So like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.